All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? We are still living in the wake of the tsunami that was the news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con on Saturday night, when Marvel, in their Hall H panel, announced, number one, that the Russo brothers were indeed coming back. Number two, that Avengers 5 was now Avengers Doomsday. And number three, and possibly the thing that's made the biggest splash, for good or for ill, is that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to play Victor Von Doom. More than likely a Tony Stark variant of some kind. Whether that's be, I've offered several theories about what if Tony Stark's great-grandparents came over to America from Europe, because everybody here had a relative at some point come here, unless you're native to this country. So what if in some other universe they never did leave Latveria and he goes on to rule and they keep their original name, Doom. They keep the family name, Von Doom. Because, a lot of immigrant families, when they came over, changed their names to fit in more with the society. My own grandfather, my nonno, when he came over from Italy and brought my dad over and stuff like that. Now, he didn't change our family's last name, but he changed his first name. He went from his real name, Giovanni, and he went by John, which is why my real name is Giovanni and I go by John. So a lot of families did that. And what if that's original? Anyway, there's a million different ways that...
It's Tony Von Doom.
Tony Von Doom. There's a million different ways they can do that. So then came news the other day that Robert Downey Jr. was going to... Hold on a second. Let me pull up the exact... There's a financial term. There it is. Shit ton. A shit ton of money. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be paid a shit ton of money because he was already getting paid tons of money before, and that was before he won an Academy Award. From what I hear, and it could be wrong, I can't independently verify this, but the communications that I'm getting is that he's going to be making $100 million a film, which will equal the highest paydays in Hollywood history for a film. That would tie him with Will Smith, who got paid $100 million at the end of the day for Men in Black 3, and Tom Cruise, who got paid roughly about $100 million for Top Gun Maverick when it was all said and done. And that's what he's going to get. So, here's the thing. Filmagoo is saying it's $50 million a film. Oh, I guarantee you it's not $50 million a film. Once the points and the box office percentage are counted in, it's because Robert Downey Jr. got $75 million for a couple of the other films. He's not taking a 50% pay cut. Who the fuck out there believes that Robert Downey Jr. is going to take a 50% pay cut to come back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? He ain't. When it's all said and done, when back end is counted into it and stuff like that, like it was for Will Smith and Tom Cruise, it's going to end up being about $100 million a film. He's going to get. So, with all that understanding, some people were asking me, John, do you think he could maybe appear in Fantastic Four? And I said, when he's getting paid that much for a film, no.
His agent's happy.
Yeah, his agent's happy.
10% of that or more. Woo.
But I said, no, I do not think they're going to use him in Fantastic Four. It's just a little bit too much. And they don't need him, right? Because Dr. Doom's not going to be the main antagonist of that movie. They don't need him in it, all that kind of stuff, right? But I also did say, to counter my own point, I said, but do any of us actually think it's a coincidence that they announced Robert Downey Jr. is Victor Von Doom the 2 days before they start shooting Fantastic Four? Like, is that a coincidence? Well, according to a new report out there, Robert Downey Jr. is going to appear as Dr. Doom a lot sooner than we think. And it's going to be, according to Jeff Snyder, in Fantastic Four. Most likely, though, in a mid or post-credit scene. Now, it's funny because somebody asked me on one of the shows in the last couple of days, could I see, Robert Downey, like if they were to have Robert Downey Jr. pop up in Fantastic Four, how would they do it? And I said, Well, it would, if they did, it would probably just be something very small, like a post-credit scene. And I can see it now. You see the back of some big, dark green cloaked figure looking at a giant screen, probably seeing the fallout of whatever happened in the movie. And like a servant comes up behind him and says, "Sir, will you be wanting the car?" And you just hear, "In due time, I need to see how this unfolds." And then it cuts back to the servant who goes, "Very well, Master Von Doom." And then you close up of the back of the hooded figure who then turns around, and it's Robert Downey Jr. saying, "I'm the dude who's playing the dude who's playing another dude." Mark my words, that's the exact line that's going to be in the post-credits scene. "I'm the dude playing another dude."
Oh,
That's what it'll say.
$1 billion guaranteed.
$1 billion film right there, all on its own. So, look, I believe this report because it makes sense. Again, I don't think I never did think it was a pure coincidence that they announced Robert Downey Jr. was coming 48 hours before they start shooting Fantastic Four.
It's possible he's already shot his, his mid-credit scene.
You could 1,000% be right. Because remember, there were reports out there that they had already, even though official shooting doesn't begin until Tuesday, remember, there were reports going around, we talked about it the other week, that they had actually already shot a couple of scenes, a couple of quick short scenes, because of scheduling of some of the performers, right? So your theory that they may have already shot that stuff could very well be true, and which would make it essential that they announce it at Comic-Con, because if they did shoot that stuff, and we're speculating here, but if they've already shot his little post-credit scene appearance, you can't take the risk that that leaks out. You got to take control of it and make a big announcement out of it, rather than risking, I don't know, Variety finding out about it and then putting it out as a news story. And then you lose all the pop from it instead of just taking advantage of it and taking control of the narrative.
It's already shot. It's like, well, yeah, we already announced he did it. So
yeah. So I think, and again, this is me speculating, I think this report is right and that he is going to appear in a post-credit scene. Because what more appropriate place to have our first glimpse of him than in a Fantastic Four movie? And I think you're right. When you combine this with the reports that they already shot a couple of little things due to scheduling, I think you're right that they probably already shot his scenes.
I'm fairly certain. I won't say like 90%, but I'm going to go 65% certain they already shot Downey's scenes as Doom.
Now, I've had a bunch of people writing into me, I've been seeing in the live chat and writing into me about a part of the theory is that whoever it is, like whatever they do with Doom, you're going to have like a Thanos moment at the beginning of Infinity War. Because how did Infinity War start? Thanos is introduced on screen, having just killed almost all the Asgardians. He kills Heimdall. He beats the crap out of Thor. And then he kills Loki. And then Loki goes, "We have a Hulk." And then he literally beats down Hulk. That set the stage. Now, I've had a few people writing in about what they could do with like a Victor Von Doom with a Tony Stark face. And somebody wrote, "How's this for heartbreak? How's this for heartbreak?" Somebody wrote in and said he kills Pepper. Oh my, can you imagine that? If the guy who looks like Tony with their daughter watching, "I love you 3000. I'm going to kill your mom." That doesn't seem right, right? Like in front of Stark's daughter, like kills Pepper.
Just
like,
surrounded by all the cheeseburgers she can eat.
Surrounded by all the cheese. And kills maybe Happy in the process. Kills Happy Hogan trying to defend Pepper or something like that, right? Or maybe she doesn't need defending. Maybe she's got the, what's the name of her suit again? Rescue? I think the name of her suit is Rescue. I think that is. Anyway, so she's in her own suit. And he kills her. If you want to make the audience instantly hate this character, kill Pepper. But here's my thing that somebody else brought up as well. Is that that would be fine. That sets him as, oh, we hate you, but it doesn't set him as the most fearsome threat out there. Maybe what they should do is a little bit at the beginning of Infinity War, where maybe it's not Happy trying to defend Pepper. Maybe it's like, I don't know, it's got to be a heavyweight. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, who went toe-to-toe with Thanos, and Doom beats her down. Just gives her a beatdown of epic proportions. Or, I don't know, play it again. Bring back Hawaiian Shirt Hulk.
There you go.
Family Barbecue Hulk. Bring out Family Barbecue Hulk and let him get beat down again. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point.
Oh, geez. What is it? Why am I the wrestling term where you're made to look weak to make the other guy look better?
Jobbing.
Yeah, so they're just gonna job him.
Yeah, Hulk is just going to become a job. Now, Hulk did not job in the first. That was an important narrative function. Like it set the stage for the whole movie. It was important. And it was at the hands of somebody that in a previous film called Thanos the most powerful being in the galaxy. So losing a fight to Thanos isn't jobbing. But, I mean, Hawaiian Shirt Family Barbecue Hulk, yeah, that's a career jobber. That dude's just a career jobber at this point. But anyway, I think the reports are right. I will find out. I'm sure more news will come out about this. Guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Apparently, we're going to get our first look at Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom, probably in a post-credit scene in Fantastic Four. Does that feel appropriate to you? I kind of think it does. Do you think Jonathan's right and they've probably already shot the scene? I mean, we already know they did shoot a couple scenes. It would make sense if it was Robert Downey Jr.'s. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.